Hi everyone, Tuesday's English lesson. And it follows on directly from yesterday's lesson. Yesterday you tried to retell the story, trying to remember all the key events. Today what we're going to do is look at those key events and try and put them in order. So we need to print the sheets. They look like this. There are 3 versions of this sheet for parents. There is a harder one, which is the PDF version of the document, which is lots and lots of pictures. It's the whole entire story I told yesterday. There is the middle version, which is the one I've got here, and then there's an easier version if you're finding your children are struggling to recall parts of the story. What I would recommend, year 1, is you go back to yesterday's story and watch it again, get it back in your head, make sure you've recounted it, make sure you can remember all the key events. Then you get hold of your sheets. Now, there's a start one and an end one, and then you've got to put all the events in order. I've taken some events out of this middle one, and I've taken more out of the other one, just to make it easier to sequence. And all you've got to do is cut them out and put them in a line in the correct order. Then as you go, you can also be telling the story. So, there are lots of sheets in it. There are 6 sets of sheets. So, you've got 4 pictures on each one. In each bit, they are each part of the story. In the harder version, they're mixed up across all the sheets. In this version, they're just mixed up in 4s, so you just have to organise the 4 and then go on to the next one. So, what is our first picture in the story? Well, it's going to be the title, and the title is here. So we'll cut the title out nice and carefully. And that is our first picture. Now, if anyone's wondering why we're doing the cutting out, it's also useful practice of our fine and gross motor skills, which we need to keep practicing in year 1, especially as we didn't finish a whole F2 year, where we would have done lots and lots of work on fine and gross motor. So lots of practicing getting the edges nice and cut, cutting around the lines, holding the scissors correctly. We've seen all kinds of holds like this and like that, and all kinds of things at the start of the year. Remember, children, like that, fingers through the holes, and you bring your thumb and your finger up and down. If you hold them nice and straight, hold them nice and tight, pinch down, you should get a nice cut. Remember also, you should hold the piece of paper with your other hand to keep it nice and flat and straight. So, this is our first picture. So it will go down on the table first, and I've got the line here. Then I need to look at my picture. Well, what was next? Well, we were talking about the father and his daughter, and he was boasting. Well, here he is with his daughter, so we'll cut that out, and that's next. Right, so that's our second one. So we've got first, second, we'll have the third one here, fourth one here. Just lay them out on the table. You can tell the story as you go. There are words on these ones, so if you want to start trying to read the words and tell the story, that's fine. Right, next one. Which one is the next part of the story? Well, the king's in the next part of the story. So the king is the one I'm going to cut out next. And that's when the dad boasts the king, doesn't he? And tells him, oh, my daughter's so clever and so amazing, she can spin straw into gold. Which is a very silly thing to say, really. And of course, because kings really like gold, and this king's not very nice, he has the poor girl brought to his castle and locked up. And that, well, we get to the last story in this section. So we've got the 3 parts of the story so far, and we're going to keep them in order on the table. What would be good is if you could create a big long line. Also, parents, while I've got everyone here, we will be phoning on Tuesday just to say hi, just check the children are okay, that you can access all the stuff. And we are also going to be giving out some logins for DB Primary and then Bug Club, because I know lots of people have asked about it, so we can do some reading, and then I can get some reading lessons sorted for you for Friday. Remember, year 1, all of our rubbish needs to go in the bin. It's not mum or dad or older brother or sisters or aunties or whoever's job to tidy up after you. You make the mess, you tidy it up. So you go through all the pages, and then when you've got a big long train, you can retell the story again. Now, if you wanted to, you could stick them to pieces of paper in order, like we perhaps would have done in the class. Or you can, I don't know, tile them across the table and just leave them. You can sellotape them together, which is what I might do, to sellotape them in one big long line, and then something you can bring back. That would be great. So, this is your English lesson for today. Remembering all the key events of the story. Pay particular attention to all the characters because they're important. We're going to write about them tomorrow. And hopefully you should have a nice, easy time with this. Remember, there are 3 levels. There's the harder level, which is in PDF form. Medium level, which will say pink, red, and green. And there's an easier level, which will say orange. It's up to you which one you choose. Mums and dads, if they're struggling, you can take them down a level. That's fine. It doesn't hurt. As long as they're getting the key parts of the story, that's the important thing. So, I will see you tomorrow. And I'll phone you tomorrow. Well done.